So it looks as though Liverpool have finally found their man in Arne Slot, the man who's the answer to the question, who will replace Jurgen Klopp at the end of the season? And while there were names thrown around like Xabi Alonso, Ruben Amorim, Julian Nagelsmann, Jose Mourinho, it's quite obvious based on what we've heard that Arne Slot is the man to do the job. Now, Liverpool have always had a data-driven approach to management, to players, to everything essentially under the FSG model. And while we were throwing names around left, right and centre, the club were doing their due diligence and have ticked every box that they need by finding Arne Slot, the current Feyenoord manager, who I'm just going to break down a little bit of what he's actually accomplished over in the Netherlands, because he spent his whole career there playing and management. He's a man who started his managerial career in 2019, but before that was actually part of the backroom staff of FC Zwolle, who you may remember as the club who we signed Sepp Vandenberg from a few years ago. He then moved over to Cambuur, where he became the second team coach and eventually was promoted to the first team coach before being offered the job at AZ Alkmaar in 2019, where he then led the side to a second place finish in his first ever season and only losing the league on goal difference. However, the league was cancelled due to COVID-19, so finished second behind an Ajax team who, according to the statistics and XG and all the expected points per games ratio, AZ Alkmaar should have won the league. So in actuality, COVID robbed them a league title in a sense. The following season, though, he was sacked from the role because he'd signed a pre-contract with FC Feyenoord, the team who he's currently at now, and the AZ Alkmaar couldn't think that he was capable of maintaining the first team operations of their club, and that his focus seemed elsewhere, which is a bit of an indictment on the man himself, but it's worked out pretty well for him. So he's moved over to Feyenoord, where in his first season he finished third behind Ajax and PSV. However, he then would go on to reach the final of the inaugural Europa Conference League. At the time of leaving AZ Alkmaar, by the way, he had the highest points per game ratio of any manager in the club's history on 2.11 points per game, where he went to Feyenoord, Europa Conference League final, third in the Eredivisie. The next season, he won the Eredivisie, finishing the league 7 points ahead of Ajax, scoring 81 goals and only conceding 30. And this season he's won the League Cup in Amsterdam, and he's also highest in defensive metrics in the league and second highest in attacking metrics in the league. And this is down to his style of play. It's a very full throttle style of football, similar to the vein of when Jurgen Klopp first joined. However, there's a difference. I'm going to look a little bit into the tactics here for just a few minutes just to explain how Arne Slot plays. So Arne Slot primarily operates in a 4-2-3-1 system, using a double pivot, a thing that Liverpool fans have been crying out for with the likes of Trent in the team, McAllister, Endo, etc. Arne Slot will use this 4-2-3-1 in the attacking position. However, should we go on the defensive, we will then switch to a 4-4-2 with both holding midfielders dropping deep into the centre-backs, providing essentially a back five to work with, or a back six if you will. At that point, there is space in front. There's no space in midfield. That's where the fullbacks come into play. Arne Slot loves fullbacks. If you look at the statistics for his goals, 71% of crosses in Arne Slot teams come from fullbacks. He utilises them more than most managers, which players like Conor Bradley, Trent, Robertson would benefit from massively. And maybe a new sign like maybe an Aiton Ori would really enjoy the opportunity to play in this team. When he uses the space in front, he likes his fullbacks to come inverted. He likes them to have free reign and do what they want by using the space in midfield where the two double pivots should be. Because they're so deep, they have all the space to operate with. And this is where players like Nunez, Salah, if he's going to be there, Diaz, if he's going to be there, will thrive. Arne Slot loves straightforward darting runs from his attackers. He doesn't like players who hold up too much. He doesn't like players who collect the ball from deep and try and work their way up. He wants his attackers to go forward. Nunez would benefit from this massively. Not too intricate. It's just he's up there, get the ball to him. Trent having that space in midfield would allow that. He would become essentially a full-time midfielder, but he would move into the fullback position. It's the inverted fullback at the moment, and in this Arne Slot system he will get the full benefit of the passing range space to work with. On top of that, players like Szoboszlai, Jones, Elliott, McAllister Arne Slot's system, he likes the number 10 to operate alongside the striker, alongside the attacker. And what this means is, while we will see Dominic Szoboszlai often sit on the edge of the box, same with McAllister, same with Jones, Arne Slot wants them in the box. He wants them to get into the area for chances to come to. When they actually move forward the double pivot and start to make their way towards the box, that is when Trent and, say, Robertson, for example, go back to the fullback zones and try and get forward to create chances in the box, of which there is going to be 3 or 4 players, because Arne Slot's system demands that his fullback, his wingers, come tight, come narrow, and allow space on midfield for the fullbacks. His entire system is predicated on the fullbacks. He wants them to have as much space as possible to provide for the strikers and attackers. With Trent and Robertson putting balls in, or whoever we sign, or whoever we replace them with, they're going to have the time to do it, and there's going to be 3 or 4 players in the box, with all the wingers coming inverted to put themselves into good positions, as well as a number 10 like Szoboszlai, who's going to be on the edge in the box, waiting to receive these chances. Only downside with it is defensively we can be a bit vulnerable because of this. Too many players committing forward, and we've seen with an Erik ten Hag system what happens when the attackers commit too far forward and the defenders commit too deep. There's a huge gap in midfield, and while Arne Slot is different, he's just balled from the Netherlands, he's not actually Ten Hag, he still will show some defensive. It's going to take time to adapt, and that's the big thing here in my quick sort of rambling. Arne Slot's going to need time, because no matter who comes in, they're never going to be able to live up to the expectations of us. You're replacing one of the greatest managers in this club's history, and while recent results haven't shown that, while recent weeks haven't shown that, Arne Slot is doing an impossible task. He's doing what Emery did following Wenger. He's doing what Moyes did following Ferguson. He's doing what every manager who replaced Jose Mourinho during his tenure did. It's not going to be easy. He needs the time to adapt. He needs the time to be given the chance to implement his style. And it's going to be rocky along the way. He's going to concede defences. He's going to concede goals even. But he still needs the opportunity to work with what he has, because his full throttle, energetic style of football, which benefits players like Nunez, Trent, Szoboszlai, could be brilliant. And he works on a shoestring budget, which is perfect for this FSG model. Let me know what you guys think in the description down below, in the comments down below even, should I say. And make sure to hit like and subscribe to the LFC Transfer Room for daily streams, 7:30 PM UK time. And I will see you all in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.